Oh, hello and welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a 10-minute game of chess, but what we're going to do is we're going to attack as viciously as possible, and we're going to guess my accuracy at the end of the game. And so we are going to get exactly what we asked for with the Sicilian on the board. Open Sicilian, quite possible. We're just going to go for it. And then as a bonus, I'm going to go ahead and solve this while we do the game, okay? So obviously we're going to capture this back. If the pawn comes, I believe that we step on over. We're going to just develop this knight, and I'm going to get this thing all messed up. I'm pretty sure we just need to push f3 and defend our center. Can't be a bad move. Also developing my bishop would make sense, but maybe let's just... I think you can't be playing h6. h6 is an incredibly weak move, and so I can jump around. Let me think for a second. Is that the same position? I go for this. This knight is already here, so if he hits me, I believe we just trade this off. Bishop here. I need to push this pawn. I'm putting the bishop there because I don't know where else to put it. So we are going to just push this pawn, defend our center. Our center is going nice and beautiful. I am ready to castle, but I would really enjoy castling the opposite side and just playing a nice little attacky game of chess. Unfortunately, he has the pawn break in the position. Almost guaranteed I'm not supposed to castle opposite, but we're here for the content, okay? So we're going to do it and just absolutely... I know that this is not an accurate move because he's got the open B file. Like, I'm castling directly into it, but we're just going to see what happens. You're going to have to absolutely outplay me in this game, or we're going to see what happens. Boom, boom. Step one of the cube. Almost complete. Where are we at with this thing? So he develops the bishop. Definitely he's got his bishop eyeing down my king side of the board, which is a little bit scary. Don't love it. So I think what we're going to do is launch a pawn. Like, yes, this is happening. His queen coming over here, I can potentially just push. His attack is going to arrive quicker than mine. What if we break in the center? What if we push this pawn, push this pawn, push this pawn? Sacrifice a bishop. This game of chess, there's no draws. I'm either going to win or I'm going to lose horribly. And this is the first step of the cube. You get the little white cross. So he wants to break open the center. My options are as follows. Take, and then he gets a nice little big black center, or don't take and get forked or kind of do something. So I think we're just going to take. He takes back. This fork is still definitely something that we need to consider. Sacrificing my bishop to open up the position. Play this first. I know that this is not correct. And then if I get rid of this dark square bishop, I'm really losing a lot of my steam for the attack. And so, what if we push a pawn first? He then hits us with the fork. We then sacrifice. He could take. So I feel like I need to do something first. Then we jump in if he takes. I feel like I'm going to trade off too much stuff. What to do, what to do. Sacrifice the bishop. Absolute blunder. Absolute blunder. Make no mistake about it. That was a horrible move, but we're going to hopefully be able to just apply the pressure. And, I mean, I don't know what he's thinking about. If he doesn't take, then I basically just got a pawn for free for doing nothing. And so what's the follow-up? Boom, boom. He wants this. But you know what? I might just grab this. And then you have to take back with the king. I'm doing this. If you take here, all of a sudden I'm kind of in the position. I think he was supposed to take the bishop. Don't overthink it. If your opponent just sacrifices something like that. Okay, so he does take. I can hit him with this check. If he goes here, I have this check. So he's probably not going to play that. I mean, this is obviously the correct move. Check. This knight is super, super uncomfortable. And I might just like try and push this pawn. I would love to just get rid of this pawn, actually. This is still hanging. This is another check. Then the knight would come back. Another check. I'm trying to wiggle my way. My queen is not going to checkmate nobody all alone. So, yes, my knight is still hanging, but now I'm going to threaten checkmate over here. And how are you going to cope with all of that? Just threat after threat after threat. You can push a pawn. Okay, he blocks it like this. Makes perfect sense. I launch another pawn into the position. My knight is still hanging. That is very true. But if I push this, he can kind of cut me off like that, and that's not super fun. That did just hang the bishop, actually. That did just hang the bishop. So grab the bishop. He grabs the knight. Here with check. He hits me again. Go here. I think we're just going to do that, right? Do I have something better? Do I have like a good attacking idea? Definitely we grab this. He grabs the knight. I hit him with check. He cuts off the check. I take this pawn, threatening checkmate again. Probably he would defend. Let's do it. We've got an attacking game of chess on our hands. I need to start focusing on getting this little cube solved. I haven't actually solved one of these things in such a long time. But let's see, bro. What are you going to do? Take the knight? I would love it if you decided not to take the knight for whatever reason. And actually, I'm kind of... So this was the original idea. I don't know if I care about this. If this happens, we're going to have the umbrella technique, where we hide behind the enemy's pawn. It's actually a very common structure. We can grab a pawn. He will then block. We then take and threaten checkmate. He slides in. Let's calculate this a little bit better. Here, here, here. This with check, I have to step over. Then he's kind of getting to defend. I want to just get rid of my pawns. If I can get rid of these pawns, it's looking real good for me. I can also take like this. But he could then threaten like a queen trade or something. So I think this one with check is more forcing. I'll clear out this pawn. And it's completely even. Like, he's got my knight, but I got 3 pawns. And those were the 3 pawns defending this king. And this discovery all of a sudden kind of becomes an idea. So I really like this. Just threat after threat after threat. We slide in like this. This is checkmate. He has to defend it somehow. Okay. Well, yeah, I calculated that earlier, that we're going to do a little umbrella technique. This is very common. So this pawn is incredibly weak. And my king is not necessarily safe. I have literally no moves with my king. My king is just cemented in the position. So that defended the checkmate. 4 minutes. What are we trying to do here? He can also just kind of slide over. But this bishop is doing a great job. What about boom, boom? He can also move this anywhere. Is launching these pawns, is that what I need to be doing here? I mean, I just feel like this makes sense. Boom. He could essentially just take this pawn. What if I take a step closer? A little teeny tiny step closer. He comes over to block. No, that's not going to work. We step back. I'll probably just get hit. Now my queen is kind of a liability here. Push, push. Does any of this make sense? I want to just push this, but then he can just capture. I step forward, then he comes in. I think we're just going for this. If we do see this, I step forward. And then all of a sudden this file's open up. So we're actually maybe hoping that he does this. I wanted to get rid of these pawns anyway. Like, these pawns are doing nothing but blocking the attack of my rooks. So he could go do something like this. Wouldn't be a horrible idea. And even if he lets go of the protection of this pawn, I might just, like, leave it. This pawn is, like, kind of a defensive piece for me, believe it or not. At least for right now. All right, what is the next process? This is where we're at with the cube. Let's just bang out some of this cube. I mean, this is a forcing type move. He would probably step. No, he couldn't step back there. So if he goes here, if he steps back, it's checkmate. If he steps back here, it's also checkmate. So he has to step here, essentially. Then I step forward. I don't love it. He can go to one of these squares, or this square, or this square. So those are the moves that I need to be thinking about. Probably we see this. Check here. Check. He takes with the queen. I pin the queen. He takes my rook. I hit him with check. And then it is rook, rook versus bishop, rook. Don't love it. So here, here, take the queen. Take the bishop. Then I think that I think that works. I take here, I get the knight, he gets my queen, I give up the bishop, he takes the bishop, I take the bishop, and then I'm just good. What am I doing? We take this. He can desperado, but then I get to defend my bishop. We take with check. I got 59 seconds. This is hanging. This is also hanging. What's more important? Let's just go here. He can grab that. If he doesn't, I scoot forward and defend it. So he probably wants this. Okay, so he wants to grab that. I scoot forward and defend the pawns. He's got two things attacking this. We're going to hit him with a check. This is complicated. I got 40 seconds to do this cube. Oh boy. What have I gotten myself into? Go ahead and spend 2 minutes on that, bro. Okay. I can also just hit him with this check. Here. If I push here, what am I trying to do? Pushing this. He can grab this. I scoot my pawn forward a little bit more. Back rank checkmate ideas are definitely something to be aware of. I would love, absolutely I would love to oh my god, 13 seconds. What am I trying to do? Attack this. Here. Six seconds. That. We're going to go here. Can't stop it, bro. You can't stop it. We're going to eat this pawn. And we're going to get behind it. And we're going to win the game. I did not finish the cube. My heart is pounding. Should I finish the cube? I'm not going to make you guys... I'm not going to sit here and... We're giving up on the cube. Mission not accomplished. But we won the game of chess. Me and my cardigan. Accuracy for that game. Let's run through it real quick without anything. I'm so glad I played with increment that game. I'm fairly certain this is maybe the correct move, but because my knight has already developed to c3, I'm not sure. Solid, solid. This is guaranteed not a good idea. That was such a good game of chess, though. Like, just an entertaining game of chess. We throw a pawn. We take, and sacrifice the bishop. Guaranteed that is, like, losing at least 10% accuracy off that. And then really just sacrificing. These moves probably made a lot of sense. I know there was I think that was probably the correct sequence as well, just trading off into a winning endgame. Just because you attacked and sacrificed stuff doesn't mean you got to do it. I think potentially I was supposed to push. And if he takes, then I take, then he takes, then I defend like that. Something like this. Rook and pawn endgames are really tricky. So I'm going to say I think that I played maybe 83% accurate. Let's go check it with the computer. Make your guess, put it in the comments before we go there, and we're going to run the computer analysis. I'll see you there. Here we are in the analysis, and oh my goodness, that was such a good game of chess by me. I can't actually believe it that all of that worked, and just wait till we go through it with the computer. But I played 93% accurate with 6 inaccuracies and 1 mistake, and my mistake was in the end game, but I'm still winning. So those are the mistakes in the end game. When you have a +9 advantage and you make a mistake and then you have a +5 advantage, who cares? Or you have like a mate in 7 and you don't see it and you like win a queen or something. Those mistakes are the best type of mistakes that you can make because everything is winning. Making a mistake in like the opening or the middle game is normally a lot worse. 93% accurate, 6 inaccuracies. 3 of those, one of them I called and knew it was an inaccuracy, but I wanted to castle opposite. Then 3 more in the end game, essentially, that didn't matter. Our opponent, 4 inaccuracies, 3 mistakes, 2 blunders, 86% accurate. And this is the status of the cube. Maybe I'll try again in another video. But let's run through this together. I'll even turn the engine on. It makes my little camera lag, but it is what it is. So we get the open Sicilian on the board. Take. Develop the knight, best move. Kind of interchangeable. We just develop a bishop. And then here I knew that one of these, I thought that this was the best move. The only reason is I had already developed my knight to c3. So it made me think, okay, so I just take. You know what? It's more or less completely even. We develop the bishop. I'm supposed to go for this pawn break. That's a scary move because then this is undefended, and I think this is just a lot more solid. Plus, I was planning on castling opposite anyway, and the computer is saying to make that pawn break, but he doesn't know that I wanted to castle opposite. So here we go. My first inaccuracy, or inaccuracy of the game is castling, but I knew that that wasn't accurate. I just wanted to kill our opponent. And so here we are. We launch a pawn. I have a -1 advantage, but I kind of knew that that was going to happen. Capture, capture, and then the best computer line. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I thought it was a blunder. It is the best computer line. Take, then again, a desperado sacrifice. I'm going to lose this bishop one way or another, so I might as well get the pawn guaranteed. He could have taken and then I could have taken, but I like this because he basically has to address it. We take. He should have taken this because then it attacks my queen and whatever. Actually, never mind. The computer doesn't know what he's talking about. Best move. How is it the best? Someone explain this to me. The computer is saying king takes a g7. Best computer line. But when he plays it, it's a mistake. And then it suggests a different option down here. Don't know what to make of that. You guys see the arrow? You guys see over here? Can you see it? I guess you can't. It says king takes g7. Best computer line. Whatever. We get in with the check. He steps back. We hit him with another check. Best every single move. Best move. Best move. Best move. Best move. Who cares about this knight hanging? We're threatening checkmate. He blocks it. Then we switch gears. We're probably not going to really be able to checkmate you anymore, so we might as well mop up as much stuff as we can. So we switch gears to just the cleanup crew. We take the pawn with check. We get blocked. We take another pawn, threatening checkmate. He takes here, which is a absolute blunder, but I'm still only a +1 advantage because my king is definitely not happy. That's for sure. He's like safe, but he's not happy for long. And oof, he can just win the queen. Just win the queen like this. And then I just take. And then take. And okay, I guess I get all of this. And then I've got 3 pawns and a bishop. It's not good. I'm still winning this position, but that is a hard to win game. I'm going to be honest with you. So I like the way that I did it. I'm glad you didn't see that. We take, scoot over, throw the pawn, push the pawn, and then I'm so grateful I calculated this correct. Like, I know that at the end of this line, so I'm going to take, he has to take, I'm going to take the queen. If he scoots the bishop out, then I just get my bishop out, and I got these pawns, and I'm happy about it. I could even scoot my bishop back to here and defend that weakness. So that's why he essentially has to take, because... Oh, no, he doesn't. He could have just survived, but whatever. I take here with check. Now my pawns are together, quite happy. This is an inaccuracy. I'm supposed to fully invest in this pawn and just completely give this one up. Whatever. I'm still winning. We push the pawn, give a check, and we push. Where I'm giving up this pawn completely, but I'm investing in pushing my passed pawn. So we push the passed pawn. Then this is also a mistake. My whole idea with this move was to attack this pawn. This pawn is defended, so that move made 0 sense, but I had 11 seconds. I made that move with 11 seconds on the clock, so whatever. Then I realized this is the right idea. We jump into the position a little bit more. There's other better moves in the position, but he goes here. This is something that you should just know and be aware of. You have the option of taking either rook. This rook is blockading my pawn from becoming a queen. So when we take this rook, he has to take back, then my pawn can push. If you do it the other way, there's a rook still on this square and I can't push. So he takes, I take, and this is a little bit scary, but we're sliding over. We take, no matter what he does, I'm coming over here. I'm winning this. This pawn is a pass pawn. Don't even need these pawns. I can checkmate with just the rook and the king. That was a sensational game. One of my most favorite games. If you guys enjoyed that, if you learned anything, please subscribe. I just reached 400 subscribers. I definitely did not solve the cube, so we will try to do that again in a different video. I can solve it in like 1 minute, but when I'm playing chess, can't solve the cube. Can't solve a cube. That was my first time ever doing that. So thank you so much. I love you. I'll see you guys next time, and you're the best. Bye.